Like, how'd you do that? I said, well, my toe was talking shit to me, so I said, look here, little fucker, one of us has a hammer and it's not you.
Ooh. Hello, everybody. Welcome to World 101 Podcast. I'm your host with the most, the Nestle Chocolate Wonder Ball himself, Mr. Eddie V. Joining me is the Red Velvet Nordic
You want to
V.
do a...
I'm about to say red naked because he's a delicious morsel, Mr. Larry Gilbert.
What up?
How are you doing, Mr.
Apparently I'm a walking fucking calamity.
Oh, wow. Calamity Larry. Oh, goodness. Medea, girl, shut up down there.
Oh, God. So, yeah, that's been fun. I managed to break my toe today. That was great.
Oh,
Happens.
I kind of was worried. I'm just like, are we canceling the podcast? I haven't heard
No,
nothing.
I'm not canceling it. It's not like I can't fucking talk.
Well, yeah.
Walking is kind of out of the question for the most part.
What'd you say?
I said walking is kind of out of the question for the most part.
And that's what I had the question about. I was just like, will he be able to walk? I'm like,
So, but yeah, that was great fun. So, the fuck have you been playing?
I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, still getting through that game, and as good as this game is, I really hate the shops in it.
Yeah?
Yes, because you have to find materials in order to buy armor or buy some kind of bow. Like, it doesn't make sense, and you could it's nice that you could set yourself a mission to go to that area to find that item that you need, but of course you have to hunt for it. Well, if that particular dinosaur don't drop that item that you need, it stays on your map saying that it's incomplete. So now you have to try to get away or hopefully be able to restart it and fight the whole monster again. Well, that monster might have a longer energy bar because I fought this dinosaur, trying to get this piece so I could get, some new armor. And of course I died stupidly time to time. And I literally had to shoot, duck, scamper away, hide as he looked for me, let him go back, actually let some guards come around, shoot the dinosaur so that he could focus on the guards and the guards could shoot him and stuff. And I had to dwindle his health piece by piece. And because your currency is actually dependent on your metal shards that you get, your currency is also used for making weapons, to make your bows. And it's just like, why can I not just have a set of bows that doesn't use my shards or doesn't use wire and stuff? Because as much as you collect stuff to make new stuff, you only are given 30 items. And the stuff that you need you can't fit it because you collected all this other junk, and you need that junk to buy clothes or buy some weapons and stuff. And it's just like, why can I not just do this as a regular RPG? You already got the clothes. Why do I need to trade it for? The stuff that I'm trading for, you're not using it for anything.
It sounds like they're trying to get you to focus on doing one thing at a time.
But you do everything while you're trying to get to that city. So yeah, that's Horizon Zero Dawn, and
It's not all bad, is it? Like, you're actually having some fun with it, right?
I'm having fun with it. I'm enjoying. I'm learning most of the game, but it's just like I can't fight the harder, or I can't run away from the harder enemies because I don't have the correct stuff to get the armor to really protect me, and I have to fight them, and hopefully not have one-on-one fights turn into a multiple things of fights because I have to keep dodging and I just can't shoot anywhere because it doesn't take off much energy. So it's just like, come on now. And I just feel like if I wanted to do something like this but do something better, I'll go back and play Tomb Raider or Rise of the Tomb Raider. At least I know that if I buy that even has a horrible kind of shop selection and how you buy things. Why can't people just get merchandise stuff right? Why can I just not pay you currency and not just get the item and move on?
Because that's too simple.
Like, it's not even that hard in Breath of the Wild. At least I can make food, sell it, and get some money. Or sell some monster parts because I'm consistently getting monster parts. And I don't need the monster parts like to make elixirs and stuff. I'm more concerned about my food so I can stay healthy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've found almost no function or worth in the elixirs for the simple fact that I can get a lot of the same effects out of foods, plus I get health regeneration at the same fucking time.
Yes. So it's just like, what's the purpose? I mean, I only need to sell the stuff to get currency. But I have enough currency to buy a particular item, but I gotta fight this enemy. And this enemy did not drop the item that I need. And I have to shoot stuff off this enemy, have him journal his health down in order to defeat him. And it's just like, why? So that's I feel like I just want to now play go through the main story and not even do side quests.
That's sad.
Because the side quests are good for getting experience and stuff, but there was a side quest that led into another side quest that led to another side quest that took me away from the area that I needed to be at. And so now I gotta run almost like 1,000 miles in order to get back to the thing. Because to fast travel, you have to have a certain item to even do fast travel.
What?
Yes. You have to buy it looks like a sleeper bag to fast travel back to where you need to be at. And plus you have to be at not be at a campfire or anything, but you got to make sure that you light up a fire, like do a manual save or a quick save, in order to be able to fast travel back to that thing. And it's just like, are we still doing this? Guerrilla Games, why?
Because apparently somebody still thought it was a good idea.
And then you play Breath of the Wild, you can fast travel anywhere that you want to.
I will say I have a small irk with the fast travel in Breath of the Wild. I know there's so many waypoints throughout the game, but I wish to God I could set one.
Well, yeah, but you know what? I think because of the shrines and the tower and stuff is so spread across that it's not bad to where you need to be at to fast travel there. You don't need no item to fast travel. You could literally be jumping or gliding and be able to fast travel.
Yeah, you just have to have found a shrine somewhere nearby,
Yes.
which I have not necessarily found some that are close to where I need them to be. So there's been a couple points where I'm like, I could really do with an, you know, a custom waypoint. That would be helpful.
Yeah, and I also
That's a
been
fairly minor gripe in the grand scheme of things.
and I also been playing throw all my PS4 games on the external hard drive, and it's taking me days, well, feel like days to get everything on it, and I'm not even. It took I think 6 hours to move the stuff that's on my system onto my external hard drive, and now it's probably taking me an hour and a half per game to put on my external hard drive. That's not on my system.
That's too fucking much.
Yes. So the only thing that's like literally on my system is like Twitch, Netflix, Hulu, and YouTube, and some other applications like the updates.
Right.
And that's kind of pretty much all I want on my system is updates. I don't want. Yeah.
It's just tedious and obnoxious.
Yeah. So, it's battery, well, not battery power, not AC power, but it's connected to the system, so the system powers it, recognizes it. I formatted just like I did my Xbox One and my Wii U, and so now it's just good to go.
That's good.
And I played also Pokemon Sun, getting a little bit further in that. I just got to like the first city, so. I haven't been playing my 3DS because I've been doing other things. And getting ready this week to do my optional opinion feature, and that podcast for that episode, which is going to be, for this week's feature. And so, that's what I've been up to, what I've been playing and doing.
Right on. Eddie called me out on it, guilty as charged. I've been playing a whole bunch of Breath of the Wild still. It's been a go-to for me, just because I'm putzing around going, I want to see if I can upgrade all of this, or if I can collect all of that, and just wandering around. In between, though, I am a hair away from finished with the Spectre Knight campaign on Shovel Knight, and it's fucking fantastic. It takes all the old level themes from Shovel Knight, and instead of just giving you the exact same levels with a different way to get around it, they've all been designed from scratch around Spectre Knight's movement abilities, and it's got a lot more. His moveset is a lot more aerial focused, with wall running, wall jumping, and using his scythe to like attack / grapple, project himself through the air. It takes a few minutes to get the hang of, but once you've got it, it feels so buttery smooth. It's a fuck ton of fun.
Can I say every time I see that game in motion, I continue to think of Devil May Cry, like DMC.
See a little bit,
and what other? There was another game that maybe it might be Ninja Gaiden or it might be Bayonetta 2. It's one of them. Whatever has no, it is Devil May Cry, because you do like for a DMC Devil May Cry, I should say, because one of the blue weapons is like a scythe and it's kind of fast and stuff. And every time I look at it, it reminds me of that, and I was just like, goodness, I wish this game was almost like a beat 'em up, the Spectre Knight, so I could just go around, dash, and attack, and do air combos and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. I like to, they took some of the Shovel Knight formula, and Spectre Knight is formulaic in the way Shovel Knight is, but the formula itself is different. instead of having a great big like world map, kind of a la Mario 3, like Shovel Knight did, you keep coming back to the Tower of Fate as your little hub world where you can upgrade get your extra curios, which are your powers or your little trinkets that let you do shit. And unlike Shovel Knight, where you have the extra levels that are built around those items in order to get through them to get extra treasure, when you go to get that item, it forces you to use it for just a quick like 90-second stage, just so that you understand how to use it before it lets you keep it and move along. So it's a fantastic reworking of the formula.
Mm-hmm.
From there, I'm still dinking around with. I'm just when I need to shut off a little bit. Fast RMX is a good way to go too. It's just pick a car, pick a track, go. The online's not bad. It runs reasonably smooth. It just doesn't have a whole lot of options to it, which is really kind of the only downfall. But considering the game's a whopping $20, I don't think I've got a whole lot of room to bitch. And then I also picked up Othello, actually. You can point and laugh all you want, but I happen to like Othello.
Can I ask you about that?
Yeah.
Is it the remake of that old NES one, or is it like a new design Othello?
Othello is Othello. It's an old fucking board game.
Well, yeah, but you remember there was an NES version of it.
Yeah, I had it actually.
Oh, trust me, I played it many of times. But see, I don't know if this Othello was if it's a remake or anything, or is it just they just brought the game back and made it fresh and new, or made it different?
I don't know. I mean, Othello is Othello is Othello. It's a fairly bare bones board game. It's just a little bit of strategy and thought, but it's not deep like chess or anything. But it's relaxing enough that I can just kind of sit and play, and I do like the control options that they gave for Othello on the Switch. It gives you the option to either, hold your Joy-Con sideways like you do if you're playing multiplayer, like with snipper clips, or you can, hold it straight on like a remote, because everything you need is there. So if you can one-hand control the game, because it doesn't need two hands to play it.
Can I tell you right now? I just popped in my head. If they made a 4-player Uno, and everybody plays with their own Switch, so you can't see the screen, like, or even Connect 4 would have to be like 2 players, like on the big screen. But even though that would kind of be cool, like the one that like Dave and Buster's or something. It's that big one, and you select which one that you want. I could go for that one.
Yeah, I mean, Othello's fairly bare bones, but it's a whopping $5. I don't feel particularly gypped for having bought it, if for no other reason than it actually has some reasonable control options that I think most companies would not have done. I don't even know who the fuck made it. I haven't looked. I just went, ooh, Othello. I want to play this. Click.
I think it was published by 505 Games.
I'll have to look. But, matter of fact, who made Othello?
Yes, everybody. Live from Larry's house. Well, not me.
Arc System Works. That's who it is. Arc System Works.
Okay.
So, kudos to them for putting in decent control options, because that game does not need to be two-handed to play.
I wonder, is Arc System Works a second party, like a middleware party? But I know they're kind of indie because they made a lot of games. Like they did a Double Dragon game, I think. Well, no, because Wayford Studios did the one for PS4. But Arc Systems, they did some, I think they're the makers of Guilty Gear.
Okay. But yeah, that's most of what I've been playing. I've also been toying around with a little bit of Rocket League off and on, and at some point I will wear myself down with Breath of the Wild and go back to playing more Witness, because it's still kind of calling me from the back of my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I just have this. Breath of the Wild just gives me my ADD fix from like, I'm gonna go do this, and then I'm halfway to something. I'm like, ooh, shiny thing. I'm gonna go check that out instead.
I kind of need to cut on my Xbox One and update my Watch Dogs 2 so I could do the new ending. Because I haven't cut on I haven't played my Xbox One in almost about 4 weeks, and I've been playing that mug a ton before Breath of the Wild came out.
Oh yeah. I was in the middle of working on trying to find all the puzzles in The Witness when Switch and Zelda came out, and so I haven't really gone back to it yet, but I should.
Does it give you a percentage on how many you found, or?
I'd have to look it up, and I don't remember what it is. It doesn't give you the percentage; it just gives you the number.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that is my that's a personal goal, is just to find and 100% The Witness at some point.
There's a game called Flint Hook.
What is it?
Flint Hook, FLINTHOOK. It's like a pirate, and he has a hook, but it's style. They say it's a rogue Metroidvania game. And kind of like not the 8-bit, but it's in that pixel art style.
Okay.
I think it's on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So probably check it out on check because they're doing a physical copy of it, like a limited run, but they might be already sold out. And I was just like, I thought this game was coming to Switch, and it's not. But I looked it up. I'm like, ooh, Larry might like this.
Okay. Oh, that's the other thing I was playing too. I've been playing some more Binding of Isaac. So.
Oh, everybody's been going crazy for that game.
I like Isaac. Isaac is either going to be 100% your kind of game or 100% you will hate it. There's just no in between with Isaac for like anybody.
Well, I think of it this way: if you're a fan of Geometry Wars or Smash TV, you'll get how to play Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, I mean, Binding of Isaac is a combination of like twin stick shooter and dungeon crawler.
Yes.
So it's fun. I enjoy it. I certainly get my money's worth out of Isaac. I mean, dear God, there's so much to pick up item wise though, and experiment with, and you know, there's always some risk reward in just about everything with Isaac. Like, not even all the items are going to be good for you. You'll get something you're like, I have no idea what the fuck this is or what it does. So we're going to find out, and you go, oh shit, I've just crippled myself.
What if Nintendo did, everybody roll with me with this, Nintendo did a Geometry Wars collection for Switch?
I'd be extremely thrilled if anybody did a full-blown fucking Geometry Wars collection at this point. I don't particularly care where it shows up. Would I like it on the Switch because I can take it with me? Yes.
Because there was a Geometry...
I've already got it on my DS because Geometry Wars Galaxies was awesome.
Yeah, didn't it come out for Wii also?
Yep, and it was excellent there too.
Yeah, so I would love
Honestly, I think it was better on the Wii than it was on the DS. But
DS. Like, I would love to see a HD collection of that. And if they want to do, because to me, like this, if you want to put it on other systems, that's fine, and charge the $10 more. If you do physical, I would pay $29.95 for a physical copy of Geometry War collection for Switch.
Honestly, I would happily pay $40 for a full blown collection if it had 1, 2, 3, and Galaxies. That's worth $40.
What was the last Geometry Wars? The one that we were talking about. Was that
3?
Oh, so that was 3. Okay.
3's the last one to come out. But yeah, that's what I would happily love to have a full collection of, all of them together. and you can't skip Galaxies because Galaxies had so much content, and Galaxies is the one that introduced the drones that were then further implemented in Geometry Wars 3 as well. So Galaxies had a wonderful ton of variety in its stage design as well. So 3, I think, was just an extension of a lot of what they did with Galaxies.
Get on that, because it's not a Microsoft exclusive.
No, that's Bizarre Studios.
But that was.
But Bizarre may actually be. Well, no, because we got it on the Wii and the DS. So,
and I think another studio did it because. Goodness, I need to know who did.
Bizarre.
Let me see, because who did 3?
It's all Bizarre.
Who released 3?
Bizarre.
Oh, so then they could do it then.
They could. I don't know if they have any interest in it.
Why not?
So, I would love to see it. I think it would be fantastic. But that's just me.
Yeah, Bizarre Creations.
Told you.
But, because I looked up Retro Evolve, Geometry Wars 3, Dimensions. Okay, so, actually, so the distributors is Activision, the developer is Lucid Games, and publisher is Sierra Entertainment.
So apparently Bizarre got all the way out of it then.
Yeah, because developed by Lucid Games and published by Sierra Entertainment. The game, this is Geometry Wars 3 Dimensions. The game was released on November 25th, 2014 for Microsoft Windows, OS X, GUN, Linux, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 4. On November 26, 2014 for Xbox 360 and Xbox One. And in the middle of 2015 for iOS and Android.
Thanks, Wikipedia.
Yes. Hold on. It says it is the 6th installment in the Geometry Wars series, and the first one developed after the creator of the series, Bizarre Creations, was shut down by Activision. So Activision actually brought them out, and then Activision closed them.
Okay.
Which is weird on why they would do that.
Apparently it wasn't making them the money.
Oh, okay. Because they made Blur.
No, Bizarre Studios didn't do Blur. They did Project Gotham.
It says right here.
Did they do Blur as well?
Yep, it says Bizarre Creations was acquired by publisher Activision in 2007 and subsequently completed its racer Blur in May 2010. On January 20th, 2011, Activision announced Bizarre Creation would close and later confirmed the date. Bizarre marked the closure by releasing a retrospective video of his life's work.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I know that Geometry Wars was originally tied to Project Gotham Racing.
Yeah, because so Geometry Wars Retro Evolve, Geometry Wars Galaxies, Geometry Wars Retro Evolve 2, Geometry Wars Touch, and that's the 4 games that the Bizarre did.
Okay.
Yeah, because they did Project Gotham Racing 2, Project Gotham Racing 3, and 4. Oh, shoot, that was big. No, they did. Yeah, they actually did the whole Project Gotham race. Yeah, you're right. But that's 4 good games.
Oh yeah.
How did the heck they get brought out? That's a Microsoft owned game.
Mm-hmm. You would think somebody would have a vested interest in keeping that open, but I can only fathom that Microsoft didn't have any interest in Project Gotham anymore because Forza was doing more than enough for them. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, they did the game The Club that was by Sega. James Bond 007 Bloodstone was there. Oh yeah, that was an Activision game. So Bloodstone was their actually last one, and then that's so weird. Trouble Street Racing, Firefighters. Oh, because of Formula One. So they had experience in racing games.
Yeah, no kidding.
But shoot, Project Gotham Racing. Oh, I would love to see 5. I would actually love to see that series come back.
Yeah, and I think that's a great place to jump into what I really wanted to fucking talk about today.
Yes. So, before
Microsoft.
Yes. So this for actually the discussion of the show, we're going to be talking about Microsoft, and we're just going to probably go random places. I'm going to actually
place I want to go with this. I just haven't told Eddie what it is yet.
Exactly. All he just said. Let's talk about Microsoft because, and I'm gonna say this before we start our discussion because I'm actually going to hand it over to you, Larry. There was a question about where is the exclusives with Microsoft and why they're not regional. So we might touch on about that, but
that's part of it.
But there's it's an open platform on where we're going to go. So I'm going to go. So Larry, I'm turning it over to you, and this is just the only topic for the show. So it's just about Microsoft. So Larry, go ahead and start it all off. Why we're talking about Microsoft?
So I was thinking about it this week. And something occurred to me, and I'm probably going to catch shit for saying it, but I'm getting a sinking feeling that I think the Xbox One might be Microsoft's last system. I think they are looking to get out of the game.
After Scorpio?
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to put a whole lot into pushing Scorpio.
Oh, they'll push
it out. I think they're going to manufacture some of them. I don't think they're going to fucking pump out a ton of them. But honestly, I think Microsoft is ready to be done with the Xbox brand and video games in general.
Well, I'm going to disagree with that. And only reason why I'm going to disagree with that is because of what Phil. Now, are you talking about making just a new generation, or what Phil Spencer said that whatever they have, it's just better just to upgrade it, like how Xbox One went to Slim going to Scorpio, and whatever is going to probably be after Scorpio. So they're not moving it to the next generation.
After Scorpio,
huh?
I don't think there's going to be anything after Scorpio.
You think Scorpio's going to be like 7 to 10 years?
I think Microsoft is going to throw in the fucking towel. They're halfway there already. If you look at what's happened with them with the last, say, year or so, all the signs are fucking pointing to we give up, we quit, we're done. Because if you notice what's been happening, they've been canceling exclusives left and fucking right.
And I can actually answer that when you're done.
They put the kibosh on Scalebound. They've canceled the announced sequel to Phantom Dust, and then later on they said, okay, so no sequel, but we're going to give you a remaster of like an HD upgrade of the original from the original Xbox, and then they said you'll have it before E3 this year, and there's been exactly no fucking word on that, and we are months away, like not far, like 3 months. And I
can answer a little bit for that too.
And there's been a handful of others that have just kind of gone away. Not to mention, some of their other exclusives are not getting proper care and attention, like you and I were talking about a little bit ago. Fucking Recore. They announced a definitive edition for a game that they didn't fucking finish in the first place.
Yes.
All of us that have Recore, we have a whole section of this game that we can't fucking play because they didn't give us the last fucking character. And so it's the content is there essentially on the disc, save for possibly the character that didn't get finished, but the actual level is there to be played, and we can't fucking play it because we can't get to it because they left out a fucking character. And now they have the audacity to say we're going to come out with a definitive edition instead, and then maybe we'll get the character. that we should have had in the in the release version that we all bought. This is absurd. Microsoft is seriously flushing all their goodwill down the crapper. On top of that, we're looking at the fact that other big games that we're excited about, not even like big AAA, but just ones that everyone was pumped for, like Cuphead, have just seen delay after delay, and we're all sitting here scratching our heads going, is it coming? Do we care anymore?
Yes, we do.
I mean, when it shows up, I'll buy it and I'll play it and I'll probably enjoy it, but they've run out the hype train on this shit, and I seriously think they've lost their zest or any interest for being involved in the games industry. They might keep shit around for like games for Windows because they don't have to design hardware for it anymore, but it feels like it's hanging on by a thread. On top of that, the Microsoft's space for E3 is looking kind of measly compared to Sony and Nintendo. Nintendo's fucking ready to come out swinging. They just, Reggie just put out a statement. It's like, we got big shit for E3 this year. Brace yourselves. Microsoft's like, meh. There's a show this year.
I can explain.
Probably go there.
I can explain that too. So, let me explain about the cancellation of Scalebound. If you have not watched the Achievement Unlocked on IGN, Phil Spencer was talking about how him and Platinum, Microsoft and Platinum, they were just going in two separate directions, and it just didn't work out. So it was a business decision. There's probably more to that. But that's happened. You just have to watch it to get more of an understanding.
I'm sure there's more to that.
I know Phil Spencer mentioned on his Twitter, I think last week or a couple of days ago, that Microsoft is gearing their exclusives for Scorpio. So that's why there haven't been many announced games and exclusives for One and Slim at this time, because Microsoft is kind of building up their portfolio so that when Scorpio comes out, it will have some games, some hot titles to go along with that. So once Scorpio drops, whatever they name it, you could definitely watch during E3. Everything is going to be running off of Scorpio, and they're going to be be like, play it first on Scorpio or get the best experience on Scorpio. They're going to be marketing Scorpio throughout E3. So I don't know how their show floor is going to look or anything, but I just feel like right now they don't want to get out the games market because Microsoft definitely makes too much money and is still popular with their Xbox brand. That's what they're kind of known for. With the Windows brand, it depends on personal taste, because you have Linux, Firefox, Internet Explorer. Still, there are some people who still use it. You have iOS with Apple players and stuff. You still have Steam, and you just have different things for your computer on how you want to play games.
There's tons of stuff for the PC, but
yes.
Most not Microsoft.
Yes, but
Microsoft
I think
has their own platform on PC, and that's one thing. But
I think offering that you could play. If you buy a game digitally on Xbox One from Microsoft, that you could play on either. Kind of like Netflix. You just have that option. Don't know pretty much about Steam, but you could do the same thing. Like if you switch it from computer to computer. But with Microsoft, it's just like, whatever you're playing on your Xbox One, and you stop it at that point, and you're on a trip or something, you have an internet access, you could play it, pick it up by playing through Windows. But they have the options. But they want to push stuff for Scorpio. They want to make the spotlight about Scorpio. And I think Microsoft is in a better position with their OS and with their games. It's some of the other stuff. I think Sony is the one that's more in trouble, because they just announced it's a rumor that they're working on another Slim, Don't know if it's a PS4 Pro Slim or whatever. They're working on another of that. And PlayStation is holding up Sony to stay profitable. Their movies and
PlayStation's actually putting some love and care into their fucking platform.
Well,
Microsoft isn't.
Well, Sony is tricky. And yes, Microsoft is, though, because when it comes to the numbers games, when the numbers are good, everybody wants to brag. Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, whatever third party, they want to brag. Let's put it out there. They want to brag. But when the numbers are not there, they have to come up with some marketing speak to divert the attention that, yeah, it did good, but, numbers are not too important to us and all of this stuff. And it's just like, numbers are good for you when you start talking about them. But when the numbers are bad, you want to just move away from it instead of continuing marketing and try to get into the hands of people. With Cuphead, I would say this. It's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a surprise release for E3, or they need to have a demo out for E3.
They need to have it fucking finished already.
I think they're fine tuning it. I think they finally got everything that they want. They're fine tuning it because I think it has to come out in August. It has to. They have no choice. They cannot hold Cuphead till the holiday season. There literally is no way because it's going to get obliterated from Nintendo. Nintendo's going to obliterate all of this.
Well, and Microsoft has just not put anything out lately to get excited about, just in terms of announcements. What's on the slate?
Right, they want everything for Scorpio. So Microsoft right now, I think they're in their E3 phase where they're trying to get the marketing right, trying to get what they want to say and deliver right. They want to make sure that the clips and the gameplay and stuff there is right. They want to get everything right. And of course, they're going to be like, if you're watching this on a 4K TV, you'll get the idea of it. But because most of us, or still some of us still are having 1080p, we won't really see the difference.
I don't buy it. I think they want out.
I think
think
Microsoft
that they essentially committed to Scorpio, and that it's going to come out, and they're going to make it. Because like they've said, anything that comes out that Scorpio can play, your regular Xbox One can play,
in the Slim. Yeah.
So that's already a thing, but I don't think we see anything past that. I think there will be some third-party stuff, but I don't think Microsoft is doing anything to court, any interest in developing for their platform.
I think they are.
Because there's no third-party stuff even, showing up and saying, hey, we're coming out with this awesome third-party game on Xbox One, and Microsoft just let themselves get buried.
Well, I think the thing about it is that for some people, third-party exclusives are not a big thing. First party is. So what Microsoft needs to do is they have to revive some of their old franchises. Phantom Dust needs to come back. Like Project Gotham Racing needs to come back. Fable needs to come back. And work with developers or second middleware developers or even indie developers. They could make a small game. And if Microsoft want to guide them. Get some games that's Microsoft for first party on, and get these developers to do it. Hey, if I was Microsoft right now and I seen a lot of developers in trouble, for me personally, I would have scooped up Crytek.
Well, like I said, Microsoft isn't. I don't see good things happening for them right now. They look like they are in fucking trouble.
I think they're quiet because of Scorpio.
They don't look like they care.
It looks that way, but I think they do care. I think they care more about video games and their business more than Sony does. Because as much as Sony and as much as people are saying that, PlayStation 4, is leading the pack, I think Microsoft is not even. I think Microsoft. And I was thinking about this in my mind today. I was just like, is Microsoft soon going the Nintendo route where they don't care what place they're at, because if
I don't think Microsoft can afford to do that. You know, they've struggled considerably to get to a point where, you know, they are profitable in the games business. You know, Nintendo, however, has been sitting on just mountains of fucking cash so they can essentially fuck off and it won't break them.
Shoot,
Not that they necessarily want to, but they have that option. They've got some safety net.
And
Microsoft, I don't think, has that.
And this is the thing. Like I said earlier, well, definitely Sony. Sony cannot fail. Because if one part of your business division is holding up half of your whole company, that's a problem.
Yeah, but Sony at least acts like they know that. You know, Sony, when you watch their pressers every year, especially the last few years, Sony is trotting out, you know, exclusives. Not necessarily always first-party exclusives, but at least exclusives. Things that, you know, they've managed to court some developers to their platform for exclusivity, even timed exclusivity, because that shit still makes a difference in a lot of cases. But, you know, it's Microsoft, on the other hand, not so much. The last few years, what do we see? We see Call of Duty, EA. You know, we've seen some Gears of War, which hasn't seemed to have done much for them of late.
Right. Yes.
Halo 5 certainly didn't do a whole lot for them. Halo War, or at least I stand corrected. Halo 5 didn't do nearly as much for them as I think they wanted it or needed it to.
Forza Horizon 3 did do them good, though. Forza did them really good, and it could Forza Horizon 3 still continues to sell well. So that's still a big property, because I would say the Forza series is probably their number one game franchise over anything else that Microsoft has brought to the table. You know, Halo.
That's troubling.
Huh?
That's troubling to think of.
Yes, and don't get me wrong, because I think 343 Industries Studio, I think they're talented. I think they're very talented. I think they had a few mistakes or missteps with Halo 5. You know, the campaign was problematic, but they said that the multiplayer is the bomb. Like, they got the multiplayer right, but the single player, the campaign was just troublesome. And some games that it just happens like that, you know.
But I'll grant that. But, you know, I mean, turn around and look too. You know, their big splash for Halo this year was, you know, Halo Wars 2, and fuck, they're already giving it away with consoles.
Yeah, the Halo Wars 2, and like I said, when they showed that game at E3, they should have showed gameplay, because they showed that trailer, and I guess whoever got hyped about it, that's good. But when you go ghost on it, and then you want to do a demo about the game, and then you release it, we don't have no kind of, you haven't dropped no trailer about it so we could see any updates. You haven't discussed about it, or, you know, kept some of the hype. You haven't marketed that game. You dropped it, and you haven't really said anything about it.
Yeah, whoever's in charge of Xbox marketing right now at Microsoft should be aware that they're probably in danger of losing their fucking job.
And that happens a lot. Like, they keep marketing like the clips and stuff, but you need to market Gears of War. You need to market Halo. You need to market Forza. You need to do all this weird. You need to market these games so that people could get it. Look, study Nintendo. Just study Nintendo. Look what they did to Yoshi's Woolly World for 3DS. They did these little mini things that made you laugh. And regardless of it's sold or not, guess what? Even when the game is out, they're marketing.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're doing something to try and, you know, push the conversation towards their game.
Right.
Microsoft just seems to have taken the piss and gone, fuck it, we don't care.
Here you go. It's out. It didn't move. Like, and Sony does that too. Like the Last Guardian dropped. A game that's been in development for a long time. Okay? If you want to make your money back, market to that game.
Yeah.
Do you have
At least, Horizon, well, not necessarily their game, but at least they've been, that game's been getting pumped and it's been drawing attention to the PS4.
And guess what? That was the leading game for PS4 Pro for the reveal. They almost every month they've been doing every 2 or 3 months they've been doing new trailers. Like, they believed in Horizon Zero Dawn. It did pay off. I would give it to Sony.
It feels like they're not getting behind anything. They're like, here's the thing, we can't be fucked to actually care about it. No.
But Microsoft has to, because I understand your viewpoint on why they feel like they're giving up, because it feels like they don't care. So, get the people who make these games, get them on podcasts, get them out marketing and stuff. You have IGN, you have Destructoid, you have GameSpot, Polygon. Like, you have these big video game sites that you could get people out, do some Skyping and talk about it. To me personally, I love that Damon Baker and Bill Trinen go on Nintendo voice chat and talk some of the games and experience and stuff. It's good that they get in touch with indie developers and talk about their game. I like when they do that, because when you get people out to help you market to your game, people are going to be interested. And that's the only way that we're going to know more about your game. Yes, there's some things that you can't reveal or you can't say. That's completely fine. We all know it. But you have to get out there and talk about it. Phil Spencer, as much as I love him, and I do love him. I actually love him and I respect him. Every time he comes on, he talks about stuff. I get a new respect for him. And I love that about him. He cannot be the only one that's driving the Xbox One brand. He has to allow people within that company, within their developers, to get out and speak to these other people. They need to market. We need to hear from the director or the artist from Halo Wars 2 so they could talk about it, so we could get involved. Because the more that I hear about the background of your game and the development, I might be like, you know what? I want to try it. I want to go out and get it. But because I didn't, I'm not a strategy guy or any strategy kind of guy or anything, I haven't seen nothing about Halo Wars 2. I know there was a demo of it. It didn't came out. What am I supposed to go on?
Exactly. They're not talking about anything. It feels to me like they're doing what Sony did with the Vita. They just put it out and then went, third parties, you go ahead. You make it work, and if not, we don't care. It feels like there's no passion.
And when the first party gives up before the third party, that's a problem.
Oh yeah, clearly that worked out so well for Sony, but I don't know.
And they gave up.
This gut feeling that Microsoft wants out.
Like I said, I don't think they don't want. Well, E3 would be the proving factor. I don't know why I keep moving my hands, but it's just a habit. E3 would be the proving factor if they're going to show that they really are for, they want to stay in this industry for games. Because once again, like I already say, every time I watch, and I could go back and a Nintendo press conference could be as bad as you think about it. But when you look about it, and whether you want to make memes of it and make fun of it, they make their presentation fun. You get some ideas of the games on what's coming and stuff, and you always going to enjoy what they're presenting, because that shows that's a company that's dedicated to games and entertainment. Sony and Microsoft, they put on a pretty picture and they hide behind the picture and don't show you the rest. So they're bluffing me to think that I'm supposed to go off a pretty picture. Where pretty pictures don't always do good. The Order 1886 is a prime example.
I still can't believe you wasted the time on that.
Yes. I will talk about that at the end of the show. But Microsoft, I can understand why people feel like they're giving up. I think they're just getting ready for Scorpio. But they have to market these games.
Yeah, well, I don't care if you're getting ready for Scorpio. That doesn't mean you quit doing anything in the fucking meantime.
Right.
Because your install base is feeling kind of neglected.
And I think, yeah, because I know with Mass Effect Andromeda, they're marketing it big on Xbox One. So I think a lot of EA games are being expressed more on Xbox One because of EA access over Sony. I think once Sony said they don't want EA access on it, I think EA decided to be like, well, we'll go with Microsoft because they have been good to us over the past years. And most of our titles do sell well on their system over PS4. Because when it comes, like I said, when it comes to FIFA, when it comes to NHL, Madden is iffy now. It depends on what system. But NHL and FIFA, those are two big titles on Microsoft platforms. And because they're not really on Nintendo, because if NHL and FIFA were the same exact games on as Microsoft and Sony on a Nintendo platform, people will buy the Nintendo version, and we'll see that with FIFA 18. We'll see what happens with that. But they do a lot of business on EA's platform. EA's platform on Microsoft's platform. So when Scorpio comes out, probably when we see, hopefully, even if we see EA's presentation, hopefully they'll probably be showing a lot of Scorpio, a lot of their games running on Scorpio, because if Microsoft is paying big for exclusive first, time exclusive, or any big kind of reveal and stuff, they're going to be like, don't put it on Sony, don't put it on PS4 Pro. We guys could give you a better system. Run it off of Scorpio.
I don't know. I've got my hesitations, and like I said, I don't have anything concrete to point to it more than it is a gut feeling. It feels like the Vita all over again, which is a shame because, you have a nice piece of hardware.
Yes.
And no support or love. And so, I don't know, but we'll see. I think this year's E3 will be extremely telling for them. They've got to pull something out.
Well, I'm going to just say this because I was thinking about this one too. Switch players, Nintendo players, in fact, the whole video game industry, if they don't announce their game for Switch, they're missing out on a whole bunch of money. I'm going to tell you that right now, because people going to want to play your game on the go. And if they can't play the game on the go, all you doing is making a rehash of a game that's going to get traded in. It's going to look pretty and it's going to have its moments at that time being. But if people were just like, this would work so good on the Switch and this is what I need to play it on. Because you're going to probably see a whole bunch of people at E3 with Switches.
Mine will be there.
And people playing it. Exactly.
I will happily take mine with me.
And so if these companies want to miss out on money because they think that, well, the Switch won't be able to handle it. Okay, you're missing out on some money. You'll get sales, and PS4 might be the leading system, but you won't get no sales like something that like on a Nintendo Switch would do.
I agree. Like you said, it's just I do think again this is going to be a big telling year, more so than previous, for the future of a few companies, namely, like I said, Microsoft, is they've got a lot tied up. I think they've got a lot tied up in the results of this year's E3, and the perception coming out of it, as well as Nintendo, because I think it's going to be a big deal as to what they bring to the show this year, not just their own first-party stuff, which there are certain things that at this point they have to bring, or there will be fucking riots in the street, but what kind of third-party stuff they bring with them as well.
I think it's gonna.
That's a big deal at this
Yes,
point.
I still stand by this. They need that if Japan supports Nintendo Switch over America, Japan is going to be back in the forefront of making video games, of making money. Because the thing about it is, I don't really know what Sony is doing. Yes, they're going to have the Crash Bandicoot remaster. Yes, they're going to have God of War and whatever that biker zombie game is. That's 3. And Call of Duty, probably exclusive, and Death Stranding. Those are 5 things. That's completely fine. That might be the leading stuff for PlayStation for E3, and they might have some indie stuff.
That's a solid lineup.
Yeah, it's a solid lineup. But if they mention if they mention the second Densetsu collection coming to America, bam, that's a big sale. If they mention Smash coming, whether it's a re-release of it with more stuff, or they announce a new Smash, which I think a new Smash will probably get announced maybe a year or 2 ahead. That's fine. Pikmin 3 might say. But if they mention, hopefully Metroid, they get mentioned. But if they mention Phantasy Star, if Nintendo goes to Sega and Atlas and was just like, we will fund you guys for you to make us Phantasy Star 4? Phantasy Star 5, I think.
One of the two.
That,
yeah.
Phantasy Star 5.
Even if they just brought me back like PSO 1 and 2 from the game, I would be super pumped.
Oh, it's sold. Because if people could be like, I could play Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 on the go, or local with my friends while I'm at conventions and stuff, with no connection and everything runs great. Oh, people would, and if I could still pay $15 a month, I'm good to go. I am literally good to go. Don't you know that game would sell?
Sign me up for my hunter's license right now. I am so ready for some PSO.
If you don't preach right now, I'm pointing at Larry right now. If you don't preach right now.
Shout out to Lance, because I know he will cream himself if there's a Phantasy Star Online announcement at E3 this year.
Oh, they'll become everywhere at E3.
So, but yeah, that's a thing that needs to happen. I don't know.
Because
I think that it will be a big year this year for Sony and for Nintendo, and I think Microsoft is going to feel painfully underwhelming.
Well, they are leading E3. Well, is it EA Sunday also, or just Microsoft Sunday first?
I've got to check.
I think it's Microsoft. I think it's Microsoft first. I think EA and Ubisoft is Monday. EA, Ubisoft, and Sony is Monday, and Nintendo is Tuesday. That's good, because I'm taking those days off. I'm taking vacation for E3. And like I said, our very own Larry Giver will be at E3 covering, so hopefully we have blogs and shows, thoughts, and everything, because I want to watch a conference with everybody. Hopefully I can, but everybody, I'm gonna have my snacks, something to drink, and I'm going to be watching Microsoft press conference. Because it's going to be telling on if
I think this is flat out a make or break year for them.
Yeah, I believe so.
Because I think they're about out of goodwill,
and I don't think they're going to be disappointing, but they have to hit it off the ballpark. I mean, yes, start off with Scorpio. Start off with start off with Crackdown 3 for Scorpio. Or if you want to do Halo, that's fine. And then show us Crackdown 3 at the end. Or something, Project Gotham Racing 5. Do something that's going to knock our socks off. Because I don't care about Red Dead Redemption being on the system. I don't care about Grand Theft Auto 6 being on the system. I don't care from any of those reveals or anything.
And those two are not I don't think those two will drive your system because those two are just as associated with PlayStation as they are Xbox.
Xbox. And I think because of the design of Breath of the Wild, I don't think that people. I think that game's going to be mentioned and just be like, okay, even though this game looks and plays good, it doesn't feel at top quality or it doesn't feel as addictive as Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, they definitely set the bar, if you will, for open world for the next couple of years, I think.
Yes.
So
yeah, so Microsoft, like I understand, and do the whole press conference by Scorpio, announce the price drop for the regular Xbox One, and announce the price drop for the Slim, or so because we've been like I got like a Halo 2 Xbox One Slim, that just came in, and there was another like special edition Slims. Do some colored Slims. Get that out the game.
Anything, for God's sakes.
Yes. Like they have got to knock it off the park because guess what? For us, we're not really gonna care about EA and Ubisoft because they're gonna mention the same stuff that's been regurgitated, and we're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's expected. Some Tom Clancy game that she want to show, whatever, yeah, and Just Dance, and let's move on. Oh, Assassin's Creed, yay, it's back. No. That's going to be Ubisoft and that's going to be EA with their sports and 17,000 Star Wars and all that other crap.
The Microsoft show is going to sound an awful lot like those shows.
Pretty much.
They're going to trot out the same fucking shit that, Ubisoft and EA trotted out. They're just going to go, get it on Xbox One.
Yes.
But I can get it anywhere. Why?
And I'll be cool if Nintendo does a 1 hour Nintendo Direct. If they want to do the live show like they did last year, I'm cool with that. If they want to show off, because I feel like they have to show off a little bit. Tease us with that expansion for the winter, Nintendo. You have to tease us. Make our mouths water. Because I feel like,
they will.
Yeah, because I was like, just do a little bit of something. Because what if they be like, we're so surprised at when people complain about, well, why is it only $20 and this out after playing Breath of the Wild, now everybody wants the DLC. Once again, Nintendo proved that, yes, our DLC might cost as much. We might not show you anything, but when you play the game, you'll understand why it's that. I would love for them to drop another, like if it's another story, I would love to see them be like, hey, here's another tower with another island that you don't know about.
Right. I think for the most part, Nintendo has shown that when they do DLC, they do it correctly. They just don't do it frequently. Because, their repertoire of DLC is not huge, but it's competent. What they put out for Smash Brothers was a solid set of DLC, packed in a rational fashion, reasonably priced. The Mario Kart 8 DLC was a fucking joy to play. You don't feel like you bought an incomplete game and then you're just paying for the fucking rest of it.
Yes.
Microsoft fucking record. But, and so I trust them when they say we're doing DLC. I trust that they've got something intelligent in mind and that I won't be pissed off about it. But yeah, that's about as far as I've thought anything out, and actually farther than I thought anything out on the Microsoft topic. The only other real big news thing I think that's hit is that GameStop announced that they're closing at least 150 stores in the next couple of months. And at this point, I'm going, not shocked, because every time I walk into a fucking GameStop, there are fewer games and more pieces of knick-knack what the fuck taking up space, and that's not why I go to GameStop. I go there because I wanted to find a fucking game, and if you carry less and less of them, then I have less and less reason to walk into your store. That being said, in addition, your used prices suck, your trade-ins are atrocious. Every mom and pop shop ever has beaten you at the game. I will hands down go to a mom and pop shop any day of the week over trudging into a fucking GameStop for anything other than a brand new game. GameStop, you had it coming.
I'll still go in there and get a used game on a good sale, good deal. That's how I got the order 1886.
There's no such thing as a good sale or a good deal at GameStop. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, for me, it is for the games that I want and stuff.
I stand corrected. They had one. They had the BioShock collection for $30 new. That was reasonable.
Even though Toys R Us had it for $20.
I don't think you had it for $20 at that exact moment.
No, I think a couple months we did.
Yeah. Either way, it wasn't terrible.
Well, I already own all three games, and more about that on another occasion. But yeah, E3 should be entertaining. Microsoft, like I said, they have to bring it. I really don't care what Sony's going to show. How about they speed up this install process for their system? And don't say I have to buy a PS4 Pro to do that. You big mouthed the system when you first showed it off.
For the last year or two, I've been plenty interested in what Sony's had to say, actually.
I haven't.
Because, frankly, they have, for the last year or two, they've put on some solid shows. And they've brought some solid stuff to the table.
They've brought some passable stuff.
So, they've definitely had some of their better shows in the last couple of years.
Not that PS4 Pro reveal.
No, that was fucking terrible. That wasn't an E3 show either. That was a separate pile of...
That's a shame. The Switch reveal outdid the PS4 Pro. Heck, people was even...
It kind of doesn't surprise me either, though.
Look, people was mad. You might have been mad at the Animal Crossing reveal, like direct, but that still got watched over the PS4 Pro reveal.
So, but yeah, that's all the thoughts I have for today. I'm out of brain power.
And everybody, that would be our show then. Larry, go ahead and plug. What would you like to plug?
We're on iTunes, Shout Engine. My brain went dead for a minute. The Facebook page, the forums. Yeah, I got a couple days off coming up because I'm getting needles stuck in my spine. So I'm probably going to get some fucking writing done that needs to be done. So keep an eye on the Facebook page. There will be some new stuff going up. There's also a sweet deal on a copy of The Witness for the PC. I'll get that posted up tomorrow too after I finish getting stuck with needles.
So actually today, when you guys hear this episode Monday, that information will be up.
Yep.
Yes. You can follow World 11 Podcast on Twitter at World1_1 Podcast. You can email the show at World11Podcast@gmail.com, WORLD11 Podcast@gmail.com. You can hear my other podcast, my main podcast, Optional Opinion, on the Anomalous Radio Network.podbean.com. iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud is where it's first uploaded, so you guys can check out SoundCloud for Optional Opinion. Also, this week I am doing my Optional Opinion feature, and it's about iconic characters that define the video game industry. And you might think it's like certain characters, but actually it's different. You'll be surprised on why they play a role in this industry. There's one character, of course, that's going to actually define pretty much everything. Everybody can actually probably guess it, but that's beyond Friday's
This
Evil.
defining character was Kevin Butler.
Oh no! That mess. He was the final character of Sony, then he got fired, and then all that mess that happened.
Yeah, but he was a fucking great character.
Yeah, and then all that drama happened after he got fired. That was so crazy.
I don't remember him getting fired. I thought he just left.
I thought he got fired. Or he might have left. But I know there was problems Yeah, but there was like Sony was suing him or something after.
Yeah, it's because he was involved in another commercial elsewhere right after.
I don't even know how that case even turned out.
Yeah, if I feel inclined enough, I might look it up.
Shoot, I kind of like video.
There you go. Eddie's writing an article about Kevin Butler.
Oh no, I'm not. Kevin Butler did a commercial for Sony. The end.
Kevin Butler did like the best Sony commercials, though.
Yeah, but shoot, Sony had a lot of changes. Like they had the little purple man, the purple face for PlayStation 1, and then it went to Spiral, and then it moved to Crash Bandicoot, and then after Crash, they just did the PlayStation or the logo, and then they moved to Kevin Butler, and then I don't know what the heck it is now. I think it's just still PlayStation. So.
Yep.
Yeah, but you guys can check out that my optional opinion blogs for that feature will be on IGN.com. Check under anime, ENIME. Also check out my series The Moment at skirmishfrogs.com. I will be posting a new one soon. I have a review of The Order 1886. Go to World 11 Podcast Forum, which I'll probably have to talk to Larry about this because there's a confusion.
That was supposed to go on the page, not the forum.
There's confusion right there, and I'll yeah.
Don't worry, I will beat and flog Eddie for his errors later.
I'll probably be turned on by it, so don't worry about it. And look, we're a train wreck of professionalism. We can't help it. Yeah, but you can read on the forum page, na boo boo, my thoughts and my rating. Did you read it, Larry, or did you look at the value that I put for it?
I did.
Was you just like, ooh, dang? So you can check that out on our World 11 Podcast Forum. But with that, everybody, we will see you later. Oh, also you can follow me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode. And yeah, check me out on World 11 Podcast Forum, where I would like to talk more to you guys, hear what your thoughts are about Microsoft. Let us know what you guys been playing, or what we should be checking out, or how you think of our reviews. Give us some feedback. We would really appreciate it from you guys. Thank you to all our listeners, all the likes that you give us, our subscribers and everything. You guys are wonderful. You guys are awesome. So have a great week. Have a great weekend. Have a great day. Great night. Whatever. Spend time with family and friends. Enjoy the gaming. And I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion. And with that, everybody, we are out. Bye.